Hello guys! Today we are continuing with our Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program. We have already done a category employer job offer and three subcategories or three streams under this category, which are in demand skills. Then we did foreign worker stream, and lastly we did international student stream. Now we are going through special category also, which you can use to get in Canada. To get PR also you have to be nominated, and it's called Human Capital Priorities stream. So before I start, I would kindly ask you to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, so we will first explain what is Human Capital stream, then we will go through mandatory requirements. This is a little bit different than the rest of, the programs I already explained. So who is it for? It is for foreign workers with the required work experiences, language abilities and education. They have opportunity to apply to permanently reside in Ontario through this program. So first they have to create a profile in Immigration, Refugee Citizenship Canada, IRCC website, and then they have to receive a notification of interest or invitation to apply. So again, for human capital priority stream, you need invitation, so they have to invite you to apply. It's the same with the job offer, employer job offer category. Embarking on this journey, mandatory things are: take a language test. So you need to have a language test, and usually foreigners are doing IELTS general, so you need to prove your English knowledge. Then you have to evaluate your degree by Canadian standards. So I have already explained how you can do this in one video, how to evaluate your degree by organization called WES. Check it here, okay? And then you have to find out your NOCs for each job occupation you did, and decide under which job occupation you want to go to Canada. So how to find your NOCs is in this video. It's a really important video, and I really explained in details how you can understand what your NOC is and what skill category you are, 0A or B, C or D. It's really important for you to find out these things, because then you will see which programs you're eligible for. For example, employer job offer in demand skills, they only accept category C or D. So you are not eligible if you are categories A or B. So you cannot apply under this program. One, to qualify for Ontario Express Entry Human Capital stream, priority stream, meet the requirements through one of two programs. So you have to meet the requirements through one of these programs. First is Federal Skilled Worker Program, and second is Canadian Experience Class. So I want you to understand, you cannot apply to both, you have to choose one, okay? So we are going to read now. Qualify under Ontario's Express Entry Human Capital Priority stream. You must meet all the criteria in the 7 categories below. You do not need a job offer to apply. So this is not like a first category where you need a job offer to apply. Here you don't. So you don't need a job offer to apply. So we said there are two programs. So let's say Federal Skilled Worker Program. You must have at least 1 year of continuous paid full-time work experience, or the equivalent in paid part-time work in skill type 0 or skill level A or B of the National Occupation Classification. Again, watch my video about NOC. Your work experience must have been obtained within the last 5 years from the date of submitting your application to the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, in the same primary occupation as you identified in your express entry. We said at the beginning you need to identify your NOC. You may have gained your work experience in Canada or overseas. So your work experience can be overseas. I'm saying for those of you who have never been in Canada and they want to apply outside of the Canada, right? This is important for you to know. Continuous, we were discussing in my previous video cumulative. Now I will explain you what continuous means. No breaks in employment over a 1 year period. Work experience may consist of back-to-back jobs with the same or different employers with no gap in between. So here when they say continuous, you cannot have a gap. But at least 1 year must be in the same NOC occupation as your primary NOC. So please remember, those of you who were self-employed, listen. If you are using periods of self-employment, you will need to provide employment documentation that is independently verifiable through third parties. This can include client reference letters indicating your duties and periods of work, as well as evidence of ongoing payments to you personally for the services provided. For example, invoices. Please also note that your hours of self-employed work must be quantifiable to ensure that you accumulated at least 1,560 hours over 1 year of employment. They're so funny, you know, people who are working for themselves, they work like, 100 hours per week. Reference letters from yourself, your business partner or family member are not accepted by the program. Okay, this does have a sense. So use some client you have a good relationship with, and then, they can write this for you. Okay, now if you're going through Canadian experience class, now we are seeing what is the mandatory. Under the Canadian experience class, you must have at least 1 year of cumulative. You see here is cumulative, not continuous, paid full-time work experience, or the equivalent in paid part-time work in Canada in skill type 0 or skill level A or B of the NOC. Your work experience must have been obtained within the last 3 years from the date of submitting your application to the OINP in one or more of the occupations that you identified in your express entry profile in Canada while maintaining legal status in Canada. Cumulative means the work you've done must add up to 1 year. It does not have to be 1 year of continuous work. I'm repeating this again because I know I will get, some questions, what is cumulative, what is continuous, or actually they won't even say that. They will be like, oh, can I do it if I have a gaps, blah, 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 blah. Because some of you guys, you do not watch the videos until the end, I know sometimes these immigration stuff are boring, but if you want to move to another country, this is for your own, for your own benefit. Because if you have a knowledge, nobody can trick you. And I have experience of people who are, sending me emails and they're like, please help me. I got Trish. She promised me this job. I never had the job interview. They gave me a job offer, and then, they disappeared. They took the money. So, if you know these things, nobody can trick you. So it's really important for you to read, or if you don't like to read, then watch the videos, listen, to this stuff. Because I'm trying to, not to read everything A to Z. I'm trying to explain you what it means in a simple language, because not everybody is familiar, with immigration stuff. Okay, under both programs. So I'm again repeating what both programs are. They are Federal Skilled Worker Program and Canada Experience Class. Your work experience must have been obtained over a period of at least 1 year. Work experience totaling 1,560 hours obtained in less than 1 year period does not qualify. Full-time work experience means working in a job with at least 30 hours of paid work in a week that amounts to at least 1,560 hours of paid work in 1 year. Part-time equivalent work experience means working in one job for at least 15 hours per week for 2 years that amounts to at least 1,560 hours in that 2-year period, or working in more than one job for at least 30 hours per week for 1 year that amounts to at least 1,560 hours of paid work in that 1-year period. Okay, if your work experience was obtained in Ontario in an occupation that requires a license or other authorization, only work experience acquired after becoming qualified to practice that occupation in Ontario will qualify. This is really important. Volunteer work and unpaid internships do not count as a work experience. So if you have a volunteer work, that does not count. Education. This is really important. So I already explained that your degree has to be verified by the organization called WES. Check this video here. It's very useful because it will show you how you can do it by yourself and not paying people, to do that for you. Okay? Language. This is an important lesson. You must be able to understand, read, write, and speak either English or French, because my clients are usually people from English-speaking side. I will explain this to you. Canadian language benchmark CLB level 7 or higher. Here is the table so you can compare, to IELTS general, because for majority of you it's easier to take IELTS general. Again, I want to tell you that I'm preparing clients for IELTS general as well. So you can contact me at englishconversations26@gmail.com, and we can practice also, like I can prepare you for IELTS general to reach your desirable score. So you see, I'm offering complete service. I'm preparing you for IELTS, I'm finding your job, I can secure your job offer, and then the part that I cannot do, I have a person I'm collaborating with to do your paperwork. So everything is at one place. So this is really important. For English tests, we are accepting IELTS, they are accepting Canadian English Language Proficiency Index program. General test, we only accept the general. Now I want to talk about settlement funds. So you need a proof of settlement funds, which is you must have enough money to support yourself and your dependent family members when you settle in Canada. Remember why they are asking for settlement funds? Because you do not need to have a job offer, right? So that you have to show to them, okay, how will I survive in Canada 2-3 months until the time I find a job? Know that a family member includes your spouse, common law partner, and children under the age of 22, including their children. You can meet this requirement through one or a combination of any of the following. Funds, as demonstrated by the balance listed in bank statements or statements of accounts showing other investments such as non-locked-in fixed-term deposits, mutual funds, etc. Annual earnings from ongoing employment in Ontario, a job offer in Ontario. Okay? Example. You have checked how much money you must have available, and based on your family size, you must have 29,000 Canadian dollars. You have a job offer in Ontario with an annual wage of 25,000, and you have a balance of 5,000 in your savings account for a total of 30,000. By using a combination of your job offer and a bank statement, you would meet the settlement fund requirement. So you can combine like this if you have a job offer. Note, if you provide bank statements that include one-time large deposit, we may ask you to provide additional documentation to support that your funds are free of debt or liability. Because you know what people used to do? They used to put all this money, especially people from these poor countries. They do not keep money in the bank. They keep money in the house, and then they go to the bank or they sell some land and they put large sum of the money in the bank, and it kind of looks suspicious. That's why they will want to check your fund. So for me, it would be better if you sell the land, because I have a lot of clients who are selling apartments, cars, lands, to go to Canada. Would be better not to put all the money in the bank at once, so do it in a in installments. So 1 month put, X amount, the other month YZ, right, amount of the money, because then maybe they won't ask you for the additional documents, because it's not nice when you receive that email from immigration. Okay, your application is, needs additional documentation for you to be, eligible, or things like that. So we want to do it in the first round, right? So this is my advice. Intention to live in Ontario. So working or have worked in Ontario, getting job offers or applying, interviewing for jobs. So this is how you can prove, that you want to live in Ontario. Studying, volunteering, leasing or owning a property, visiting or having professional networks and affiliations, family ties and personal relationships. So if you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, you have aunt, uncle, mention that, this is like your proof that you want to settle in Ontario, that you won't be like, okay, I want to get permanent residency in Ontario, but actually I'm planning to live in BC, let's say. This is an example, silly example, but I'm just giving you an example. So make sure you can prove it. Okay, so now let's Federal Skilled Worker Program. If you choose to be assessed against the Federal Skilled Worker Program, you must score at least 67 points. So for Federal Skilled Worker Program, you need at least 67 points on the 6 selection factors: education, language skills, work, experience, age, arranged employment in Canada, and adaptability. Okay, so then they will learn more about Federal Skilled Worker Program and the 6 selection factors. I will make a separate video about Federal Skilled Worker Program and explain everything in detail. So supporting documents, they have all to be translated if they are in your native language by the court's translator. Okay, cost to apply, 1,500. The application fee is 1,500 Canadian dollars and covers the cost of processing your application. Acceptable cards are Visa, Visa Debit, MasterCard, and MasterCard Debit. Refunds, they talk when they will refund you, and how to submit application. Okay, and then you have application instructions. I will share this with you, so please do not send emails until you watch the video until the end, and read all the things from the link below in the description box. I hope I explained you Human Capital Priorities stream, and if you want me to help you with a job offer in Ontario and any other province in Canada, please do not forget to contact me at englishconversations26@gmail.com, and please attach your resume. Thank you so much. Bye.